Spain has been forced to ask the EU for help after being overwhelmed by a fresh migrant wave just weeks after announcing it would legalize 500,000 asylum seekers.
All right, folks, this is Harris Sultan. Remember this speech almost a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, by Spain's Prime Minister, Pedro Sánchez?
Yes, my country has offered a path to regulate 500,000 undocumented migrants. 500,000 people we live with every day, at the market, on the bus, at our children's school, people who care for our parents, work in the fields, who have built hand in hand with us the progress of our country.
As they say that the bad behavior that is rewarded is bound to be repeated. So as soon as he announced that, the people who came into Spain illegally, 500,000 illegals will be turned into legal Spanish citizens. And some of them are even telling you exactly why they're doing this. Remember this woman?
I want to ask the migrants who have been socially indoctrinated to please not leave us alone with so much fascism. And of course, yes, we want them to vote. Of course, yes, we have obtained papers, regularization now, and now we are going for nationality, or to change the law so that they can vote. Of course, hopefully the replacement theory. I truly hope we can sweep away fascists and racists altogether. This country with migrant people and with working people. Of course, I very much want there to be replacement of fascists, replacement of racists, replacement of freeloaders, and that we can do it with the working people of this country, no matter what color your skin is, whether you are Chinese or black. Morona with all her fellow female workers across this country.
So this is a far left woke Spanish politician. She's saying that we are legalizing illegal so they can vote for the left. And that's how we will defeat fascism. What these people don't realize is that the people that you bring in from third world countries, they don't subscribe to your lefty globalist ideology. They're highly tribal. So if you're an illegal migrant, if you want to go to Spain, if you want to live in Europe, when you hear a prime minister say that we are going to reward your illegal entry and we're going to turn you into a citizen, what are you going to do? You'll flood Spain with illegal migrants. And that's exactly what happened. And I saw so many of these videos. I don't know if they're fresh or some old ones, so forgive me. But the media has been reporting that a lot of illegal migrants have been flooding Spain after Pedro Sanchez's announcement of legalizing the illegals. And these are the people who started flooding Spain. And guess who is actually upset? You wouldn't believe who's upset. The EU is furious with Spain. And Spain is now begging the EU to take some of these illegal migrants that Pedro Sanchez's stupid statement caused in the first place. Have a look.
Spain has been forced to ask the EU for help after being overwhelmed by a fresh migrant wave just weeks after announcing it would legalize 500,000 asylum seekers. The announcement sparked a fresh wave of migration. Now the country is expected to absorb up to 1.3 million asylum seekers. Panicked, the government has asked the EU to facilitate the transfer of migrants from the Canary Islands. The Economy Minister Carlos Cuerpo told Parliament last week he'd asked the Commission for money to stop the, quote, over-concentration of the migrant population in the region. The move comes despite uproar at Spain's unilateral action to give legal status to its migrants and Brussels' clear objection.
Even Brussels didn't approve of this. The EU, which is already bending over backwards to this agenda of flooding Europe with third world migrants, even they were not happy with Pedro Sanchez's decision. So he went above their heads, and now he has the audacity to beg the EU to absorb some of these migrants that he invited?
Within the EU Schengen open border region have no say in the decision, though will not be able to stop those migrants coming to their countries.
That's exactly what we said, that they are actually flooding Europe. It's not just Spain. They're flooding Europe with third world migrants. And you saw the quality. You want to see the quality of these migrants? Let me show you the quality of these migrants. That's it. Look at this. This is Spain. This is Spain. What are they doing? What are they doing? What's going on? What are you demanding? What are you asking for? What are you calling for? What are you upset about? Is that how you should behave in a foreign country that has let you in? But that's just one element of it. Look at this. How many jihadis have come through? How many jihadis? Have a listen to this Muslim. I'm going to read you what he's saying because it's in Arabic. We must declare that Palestine, from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea, is an Islamic land, and that Spain, Andalusia, is also the land of Islam. Islamic lands that were occupied by the enemy will once again become Islamic. Furthermore, we will reach beyond these countries which were lost at one point. So we will reclaim Spain, and then we will go beyond them into Europe, France, Germany, the UK. This is what they are teaching. This is what they're radicalizing their next generation with. And the sleeping West, the stupid West, is just purely ignoring this. And look what they're bringing. Boats full of them. How many of them are warriors? They're not your doctors and engineers. When you bring in people from high skill category like doctors and engineers, people who've had a university degree, they have a better chance of assimilating and integrating. And throughout the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, it worked because we did it in small numbers. But when you bring in huge numbers, these people are going to dominate even the elite. Even the elite of their society is going to switch over to their side because they're going to dominate them. They're going to control the narrative. How many people do you think listen to this? This is what I say. People try to gaslight us and they say, oh, they're good Muslims, they're good Muslims, they're good Muslims. I have found the best argument against it. Well, those good Muslims are just, they're irrelevant. Look at this. They keep telling them. They're telling, that, so this ideology is not just limited to the foot soldiers who don't have a worldly education, university degrees and whatnot. They're actually spreading that ideology to the educated class as well. Listen to this.
Don't say I'm British first. You're not British. You're Muslim first. That's your identity. Does that make sense? So many people, they say, oh, where are you from? Or brother, what are you? No, me, I'm British. Me, I'm Canadian.
They are gaslighting those ones who what we see as good Muslims, they're even gaslighting them. So how long before you lose those good Muslims? This is what Pauline Hanson said. I don't know who's a good Muslim. 18,000 people on Asia's watch list. I think 40,000 people on Prevent's watch list. Now they're trying to bring in some cultural nationalists as well because that's been labeled as a form of extremism in the UK. Cultural nationalism. If you say I'm proud of British values or British history, I don't think we should pay reparations to former colonies. I am proud to be British and I'm going to preserve British values and British culture. That is now listed as a form of extremism and you could end up on Prevent's anti-terror watch list in the UK. That's how they're diluting Prevent's watch list, which up until very recently, 95% of it was made up of Islamic extremists. And as they like to tell us, don't call it Islamic extremism. There's no extreme or radical Islam. There's only one Islam. Yes, there's only one Islam. And Muhammad Hijab will tell you what that Islam is.
Reason why you have to fight them is because they are Jews and Christians.
There's no other reason. They harmed you. Are they stopping you from praying in public? No, there's no reason. Just because they're Jews and Christians, they are not Muslims. Therefore, you have to fight them. Chapter 9, Surah Toba, is full of it. One of the verses says, 9:29, this is what it says. Fight those who do not believe in Allah in the last day, even though they were given the scriptures, and who do not hold as unlawful that which Allah and His Messenger have declared to be unlawful, and who do not follow the true religion. Fight against them until they pay tribute out of their hand and are utterly subdued. This is a Quranic direction to Muslims. This is what Muhammad Hijab is telling you over and over again.
You should fight those empires around you, or those hukumat around you, which are Jew or Christian, until they give the jizya. And then the howness of that is in the hadith. 3 options that they're given. Either you give the jizya, or you do this, or you do that.
Either you get the jizya, we'll convert to Islam, or die, we'll fight you.
Yeah, we're not apologetic about that point. That is truth.
That is the truth. Muhammad Hijab has 1 million plus followers. And again, these guys are not stupid. They know what they're talking about. Your average Ahmed that you work with, he is stupid if he tells you that, no, we don't want to take over Australia, because he doesn't know anything about Islam. He's just a nominal Muslim. He'll tell you what those Muslims 3 options are.
Go and conquer the adjacent country. What do? We kill them all? No. The Prophet says, the first thing you do is call them to Islam. If they refuse, then tell them Allah obliged upon you to pay taxation. In return, when enemy comes and attack your country, you don't fight. We Muslims protect you. And Allah, for this little money? Yes.
This little money is 50%. Muhammad charged up to 50% tax. Half of the yield of the Jewish people was collected by Muhammad as jizya. So it's not little money.
And you enjoy sitting in your homes and in your country and live your life normally. But the ruling is for Sharia.
That's now the third option coming up.
So you do not open nightclubs, you do not fornicate. If they refuse, then we have to fight. And if we fight you, then we capture you, you become our slaves, and we take your land, and you take because you refuse. I give you two good options in the coming 40, 50 years when the Muslims become strong.
That's what they're planning for, guys. They've been telling you. If I really don't think they're going to succeed. I genuinely don't believe. But for some reason, just imagine if they succeed. Let's just say one country falls. I'm not going to name them because I don't want to offend anyone. Let's say one of our major Western country falls to Islam. Yeah. Imagine how the future historians of that country will write it. Imagine, they'll say, you idiots. You freaking idiots. They were not even trying to be discreet about it. They were speaking with a megaphone. They were broadcasting it over and over again. And they did it for many decades. And then they're going to show you the photos of idiots like Keir Starmer, Anthony Albanese, Sleepy Joe. And they're going to be like, these idiots were like, there are no bad Muslims. There are good Muslims. That's how stupid it is. It's stupid. It's beyond comprehension. But they're not going to succeed. The only downside is it's just going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly for everyone. I'm sorry. It's going to get ugly for everyone. Because we lack the political courage or the political spine to nip it in the bud now. In Australia, Pauline Hanson is doing a good job. In America, Trump is there. I'm not sure if Trump is doing what needs to be done. Yeah, there are some good politicians like Congressman Randy Fines, Keith Self. There's some people, they're fighting back, but look at the blowback that they're receiving. So the road is tough, but we have to fight it. There's no way out, guys.